somebody, we were talking.
Good morning, humanity. It's, what is it? It's June 26th, 2023, and it's the favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody over here in the corner. I'm Paul.
Stay in the corner. Hi, everybody. This is Bev. Good morning.
And we have a wonderful special guest with us
Surprise.
today. We have Kai Cox and her baby.
Aw.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
She'd wave right now, but
Hi, and Riley.
Oh, and so we had our labor and delivery workshop on Thursday. So we wanted to build on that because that doula came because of Kai, right?
Yes.
absolutely.
So Kai is one of our certified practitioners. She's also on the board of directors, and she has had what we're going to call two bio babies. And so we want to find out how she did that.
Really?
Yeah. Compared to the days where Bev always wishes she had BioTouch.
Oh, what a difference.
Yeah. So let's hear about the difference. What was it that made you okay? So the first your first child. Let's see, how many? That was 2 years ago already.
Yep, she's just over 2.
Yeah. And so Maisie was your first child, and you decided to get a doula. Why did you do that, and how did you find Angelina?
So that's a really fun story. So I knew for sure I wanted a doula because I knew we were going to have a hospital birth, although I kind of wanted a home birth from the beginning, but our family decided, Matt and I decided, hospital was the way to go for the first one. So I wanted someone there in my corner speaking up for what I wanted and then bringing in those elements of touch and relaxation and just making sure that we were all as comfortable as can be. And it was kind of funny because I had three doulas at the time that were like, hey, you should pick me. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, who's going to learn biotouch?
Yeah, right. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, and I'm so grateful. We have Angie and I have a common friend, one of my dear, dear friends. So that's how I'm best friends with Laura, and Angie's best friends with Laura. So we're like, hey, we would probably get along great. So then that's how we, connected. And I'm so grateful that she was there for the first one. There were times where the doctors were saying stuff and I had no idea what they were saying, and it was causing more fear. And Angie talked about that in her amazing presentation about like there's so much fear. And I now having a second baby where I walked away from the fear and just embraced, yes, my body can do this naturally and it's going to be amazing. I see how it's so ingrained with us. Like I remember for Maisie, I was like, okay, so when I want to get in the tub and they're like, people don't do that. I'm like, well, then why are they at the hospitals? Like, and then the tub was broken, right? It was broken. It was fixed the next day. So I'm just so grateful that she was there for that experience. And then, as soon as we found out we were pregnant, we're like, how soon do we tell Angie? Because we knew we wanted to have her there again. And this time having a birth at home and a whirlwind of a completely different experience. I'm so glad she was there also. And speaking of touch, when she got there, I was completely calm. I was outside painting. And then my body kind of told me like, hey, get inside. Things are about to start happening. And she came inside with me and she gently she asked if she could touch me. She put her hands on my back and I was like, oh, okay, Angie's here now, right? Like here I am in my body and Angie's here. And then she talked about how, as birth keeps going, sometimes you don't want touch. And I told everyone there was only two people there, but get away from me. Like I'm feeling claustrophobic. I need to be alone. And I sent, Matt and Angie away. And then, I was like, where's the midwife? This baby's coming. And
wow.
she was here within less than 30 minutes. So,
Who was here? Who was here?
Riley.
So the midwife never showed up?
No, I was so calm that no one realized that my contractions were so close together until they were like 2 minutes apart.
Wow.
And it was like, I had 5 contractions and then pushed twice and there she was. I mean, I had more contractions, but those 5 were the ones I couldn't breathe through. And I was like, everyone needs to get away from me.
Yeah, right.
Like, someone needs to catch this baby. So
who caught the baby?
Matt did.
Yes.
Yes.
Yay, Matt.
Like, I don't want anyone else. If we happen to have more kids, I don't want anyone else to catch the baby because it's such an amazing experience.
Oh my gosh!
And everyone's like, "Oh my God, how painful was it?" We go to that, and I found it enjoyable. I found, except for those 5 contractions, the whole experience completely enjoyable.
Wow, that's quite a statement, Kai.
Yeah.
I mean, really, and evidently, evidently you were so present with everything, all those different stages they talk about. So I'm curious, when you first decided that you wanted Angelina to step in as your doula, what did she say when you said, I'd really like you to learn this healing modality called biotouch? And what did she say?
She was lovely. She said, I'm always open to having, more tools in her bag of tricks, or Mary Poppins bag, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't actually use biotouch before in labor and delivery. It was something that throughout all of pregnancy, was something I turned to.
Yeah.
And immediately after, I was like, I want biotouch. But in that moment, didn't even cross my mind. And because I didn't want to be touched.
Right.
I you know, the baby was coming, and so I like speaking to that because it's okay. Like you might
Yes.
have all these ideas. I planned on being in a tub. I planned on like having the headset just like over and over, right? Singing bowls going. None of that happened until after, and that's okay.
That's
Like,
okay. I think what's cool about that is that BioTouch was there
mhm.
as an aside. It was ready if you needed it, but you just brought it all together. And I guess I want to say yes, your midwife was there. It was you.
Right.
I mean, come on. That's an
Yeah.
amazing story. And I
Yeah.
think it's very hopeful because, as Angelina was saying, and you say, giving birth has turned out to be, especially, during the labor and the delivery. I mean, my own experience, yuck. It was, because we were pumped full of, you don't want this, and please don't ask for that, and you're going to have this, and this is the way it is. And wow, we didn't have those kinds of, I won't say we didn't have the choices. We weren't really prepared to take the responsibility like you did,
Right.
Mhm.
especially with Riley, and be that
Right.
present in that process. That's beautiful.
Yeah, because the hospital birth, there was a lot more with Maisie, you know. You gotta stay on this bed now. You have
Right.
to stay on your back now. And that's
Yes.
why I, you know, actively was in labor with Maisie for over 2 hours. And it was really painful. And it was, you know, it was
Right.
all the things people kind of fear, but I knew it could be more than that. So,
Yeah.
So how did you use so that's good. So you had it as a tool ready during labor and delivery, but you said you definitely used it pre and post delivery.
oh,
How
absolutely.
did you use it? Let's say pre delivery, like those nine
Yeah.
months prior.
So I, throughout those 9 months, I really enjoy being pregnant. But the thing that I did feel, and I know a lot of people are like, "What? That's crazy." But I think all of this experience can be enjoyable. I really felt it in my back. My back would like slip out a lot. Um, so I had Matt, my husband, do, you know, the greeting, stress. My neck also was hurting from my back hurting, and, you know, the whole thing working as it should. So he would do neck, and then he would just gently touch on the back. I wasn't laying down for him to do the whole back
Right.
set, or,
Right.
you know,
Right.
having a 2-year-old, there wasn't much time for him to ever do the whole set, but it was definitely something we turned to. And I love that it was something that he would ask for too, because there's a lot more things he had to be doing while I was pregnant, because I wasn't bending over and picking up, you know, the
Right.
toys. He was doing
Right.
those things after working a full day and coming home and then cleaning and then cooking and doing all those things. So he was asking, you know, for the
Oh,
stress set. He was asking for those things. So that supported us during labor or during pregnancy, which I'm really grateful for. And after, the whole healing process this time has been night and day.
Huh.
I didn't use a single ice pack this time. Last time I had ice packs constantly, like
yeah.
to the point where I was probably told I shouldn't be using them that much. But it was me listening to what the doctor said and being like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do." The doctor does, right? The answer comes from them. And then this time I really was just like, "No, my body knows how to heal itself." Like, this is what I talk about all the time in the
Love it.
most intense situation that I've ever been in, which is labor and delivery. Let's actually turn to that. And then the postpartum healing, which there's so much that go to that. Even just, you know, having that greeting and then the stress set, because there are those moments of you're like, "Ooh, can I do this?" And then you get to take that breath with BioTouch.
We
So,
we need to put you on the road. You're an amazing advocate for. I think this would bring uh so much less stress and take a lot of the fear away for a lot of women who are going through a very natural process, actually supposed to be. And hearing someone like you who has been through it on your own, what better way to teach or to present, and having gone through it yourself, there's, as you said, and Angela said, the fear factor. And
Mhm.
after hearing you speak and like, oh my gosh, we can do it in the body. And I was present. That's a great message out there because
Yeah,
pregnancy happens. I mean, it's
right.
everywhere. So, I mean, the fact that you've been through there, I'm already seeing that uh, we need you as an advocate for biotouch and pregnancy. We need to
Right.
put her
Well,
on the road.
I've been looking at RVs, so
There you go.
if anyone wants me to travel out, my whole
I
family
love it.
van is gonna come with, but
And so now with Maisie, who's 2 years old, and the new one Riley, who's just weeks old,
yep.
how do you use BioTouch with them? And is Maisie getting ready to learn how to do it on you yet?
Um, so Maisie's really funny. With Maisie, so I started off as a massage therapist, and I remember just being that first week being in a complete daze of I don't know what I'm doing. And then I was like, wait, I haven't even like massaged this kid's feet yet. Like I haven't turned to anything that I know. Like and so then I started getting into it. With Riley, it was seconds,
Hmm.
right? Because, I was like, let's do bio touch on her right away. Let's massage her little feet because she's feeling kind of
Yeah.
gassy, like all those things. Um, Maisie still, I'll go and do the greeting and she makes this face like, mm. Like she'll let me do it, but then she's just like, mm. So I am hoping that she'll be open to learning it, but I have a feeling Riley's going to be like, oh, I got this. Come here, mom. I'm going to do the neck and the back set on you right now, right?
So, and that's funny because that brings up to me, so many times I've had parents say, well, they didn't really want BioTouch, right? Or, they were sort of squeamish. And I'm like, do
Right.
you give them an option to brush their teeth?
Right.
Do you give them an option if they have a bad virus to go to the doctor and deal with intervention kinds of medicine? No, we don't, and so the concept of, you know, something new because in a sense in all the things we've been talking about too, it's just part of the DNA lineage of oh no, I don't want to be touched, but it's sort of like a parent like you and Matt are changing the lineage, the DNA memory bank of this next generation of
Yeah.
people will start touching and they'll start doing things like biotouch or massaging and so you're helping change the whole lineage of generations to come and we really appreciate you and Matt taking the opportunity to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
thank you.
amazing.
And I will say, Maisie's first year, she didn't get sick once. She did hit her head really hard. She opened a drawer into her face. She's so
Aw.
strong. And when we went to the doctor, the follow, because we go to a natural doctor, they're like, there's no signs of concussion. And, there were signs that she had had one, but we turned to BioTouch right away. Now, am I saying like it completely cured a concussion? I don't know, and I don't care. I
Right.
just know that my baby felt better,
Right.
stopped throwing up, and like, when we got to the doctor, everything was okay. And that continued on into her, we ended up getting some colds being pregnant in winter time here with it not getting cold enough to kill the germs. But that first year was amazing. And I know so many of my friends had multiple sicknesses after,
Yes.
just couldn't get rid of the bugs. So I really contributed that to BioTouch because that's the only thing we were doing different. It's not
Wow.
like we eat really healthy, sometimes we're tired, sometimes we just need to get that fast food.
Yep.
Um, and this is the thing that we're doing differently. So I know it's really helping
Oh,
our
that's
family.
great. We're always talking about, it doesn't matter if you use it every day or not every day. I think the magic of BioTouch is you have something at your just use in a moment,
Absolutely.
and if you choose to just do a regular thing with your kids every day, it was so much better. But I mean, you've seen the difference. But I always think, my God, yeah, why? I wish I'd had BioTouch in the 70s with my kids' migraines and the ear infections and just those things that come up all the time for kids when they're growing up. I mean, my gosh, we could, have BioTouch at hand all the time. And I really think that it would make a great difference. in that daily, day to day raising your kids and having BioTouch so that you could use it in any situation.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
mean,
Yeah.
this is this is thank you for sharing this, because this is part of our goal here, is to get it in a family just like yours and Matt's. You know, it's perfect.
So you guys are the poster child. So you need to get pictures here so we can put it on our all
They're
three of it.
extra family.
We'll get Macy's little
Here's
squirmy face. And to any parents that are like, oh, my kid doesn't want BioTouch, or, they run away. Just get those seconds that you can. If
yeah,
you can get the greeting, and
Right.
exactly. I think that's
even if
important.
you get, absolutely, if you can get 3 seconds, although we hold for 6 to 8, like, great, those 3 seconds
Just
are amazing.
something.
Sometimes Maisie pushes my hand away, and I'm like, okay, well, we're done for today, but at least we got that.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
And it just might be her already pushing against mom, man. You have some lessons here with her, because when I worked
Right.
on her, you brought her in here. She sat
Right.
on the table. I could do the greeting. I did the headset and her neck. She
See?
didn't move at all. So
You already knew what BioTouch
it's
was.
it's you and her karma that have to work out.
Yeah.
So
That was the most calm and like relaxed I have ever seen. I think she was what, 1.5 then?
yeah, right.
Just sat on the table, folded her hands in her
I
lap,
love
and
it.
absolutely enjoyed it. So
No, it's not BioTouch.
we got some stuff to work out.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, so everybody out there, please let us know. Kai's happy to talk to you more about, how you can incorporate it into your birthing experience. Bev and I are here every week talking about BioTouch. Go to justtouch.com. If you're in the Chicago area, Kai runs all kinds of classes and programs out there. She's happy to work with you. Of course, you can always do Zoom with any of us. We have virtual trainings. We have in-person trainings, Chicago, Tucson, different areas around the world. We're just here to teach it. Yep. And Kai and Matt are just the perfect examples of what can happen if you bring BioTouch into your family. Yeah. So
absolutely. And I just really quickly want to say, if there's anyone out there that's like, I don't know if I'm strong enough, and you just want a support system, because I've had some friends now that have, you did this, like, do you think I can do it? Yes, you totally can.
Right on.
That support system.
See, it's already starting.
To me, right? Like, I'll answer questions. I'm totally open about my birth experience, and any way I can help, just reach out.
Oh, that's perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kai. It was wonderful spending 20 minutes with you and the little ones.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Yes. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Days in and days out, space and time is all about feeling pressure with the pain, in sunshine or in the rain. Living is a place in mind, giving is being kind, and the pain is too much. What we need is BioTouch. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be.